Have you ever flown over 9,000 miles with 2 kids? We did just that.
We're going to tell you our Thailand highlights.
So, yeah, we took the kids. We started out on our trip, flew from New York to, Jakarta, and then wound up in Krabi, Thailand. But we did it in business class. We saved up enough points and was able to score a good deal and flew 5 people, 3 adults and 2 kids, business class to Thailand. That one wasn't too bad. We didn't sleep as much as we usually do whenever we fly business class on these long flights because the kids didn't sleep, but
it was still a really cool experience, and that the kids don't even know like how cool it is to be in business class, and most people don't even get to experience that, or if they do, not usually when they're 2 and 4. So that was a really cool experience, and it was a long day. I mean, the day was super long, but we were just all so impressed on how well they did. They were friendly to the flight attendants. They did sleep, they did eat, using the bathroom, changing, toys. They did really good.
A couple of meltdowns, but nothing too terrible.
Yeah. And then that day was just so long. I mean, it was a long day, but it was still a cool experience to leave New York, get to Jakarta, and then Jakarta to Thailand. So we finally, after 2 days, right? 3 days?
It took 30 hours to get there and then 4 nights in Jakarta.
Okay.
And then we made it to Thailand.
Yeah, and that was that night that Matt and Ryan fell asleep on the couch in the Airbnb, just finally crashed after however many days, long days, but that was worth it. That was a long stretch of travel, but that was cool.
And the first thing that we did, we took a tour. So we got with our Airbnb guide and we arranged a tour with him with our host, and went to the lookout and saw these great views. We even put the drone up for a little bit for the first time, and that was pretty awesome. The kids had fun taking the photos and stuff. And then we drove and we saw the monkeys.
Yeah, went to the monkey cave.
And Meghan got attacked by a monkey.
Yeah, that was the monkey that jumped on my back.
Yeah, the kids had fun though, like feeding them the bananas and everything. And there was a cave right next to it, so we got to go in a cave. And what's kind of cool is, like, Ryan likes caves. I think it came from like that going on a bear hunt song, and we used to act that out. He even had going on a bear hunt birthday party one time. But like everything was a cave. And can we pretend this is a cave? And so it was just cool being able to go into a real cave, with him for the first time, whenever he had always pretended we were in caves for stuff.
Yeah. And
then we, after the caves and the monkeys, we drove over to this really large temple that they're constantly building on, and that was cool. I mean, just the architecture there was pretty amazing. Just huge, beautiful place.
And that was something that, they don't ever see in Texas. They don't see these huge golden temples and Buddhas and different things. So that was cool seeing it, through their eyes. They don't really understand it all yet, but that was something that they've never seen before.
Yeah, the next thing we did that we really liked was, and we went, I think maybe 3 times or so, we went to the landmark night market in Ao Nang Krabi, Thailand.
Yeah, that was just fun because there was tons of food, lots of choices. They had live music. You're right by the water.
Yeah, it's right across the street from the beach.
Yeah, the atmosphere's great. That was where Ryan had chicken nuggets, I think for the first time in a couple weeks. We hadn't really had chicken nuggets, but there was a lady there that sold, chicken nuggets and french fries. So
that made his little chicken nugget loving heart happy.
Yeah.
And then we took a vacation from our vacation. What we did, we went to Centara Grand Resorts in Krabi. And this is where Meghan and I went on our honeymoon back in 2018. And one of the things we had talked about while we were there is we would always love to bring our family back one day. And we got to accomplish that just 4 short years later. So that was pretty cool.
That was just all really relaxing. It was we just enjoyed it. That was the crazy sidewalk that we talked about that we didn't know was going to be as crazy until we got there, and the water was nuts. They had the great pool, the slide, breakfast, had tons of options.
Yeah, that's always one of my favorite things is about hotels, and especially this one is the breakfast, because you can get like this noodle soup for breakfast, and I don't know, I love it. I was looking forward to that, I think, the most.
And then we had been at our Airbnb for a week or two, and that was, we haven't had dryers, we hang dry, so that was nice to have soft towels and then hot water. We really didn't have a lot of hot water in that Airbnb, so hot showers was a plus at Centara.
Yeah, and what's awesome about this place is the scenery. I mean, just huge trees and greenery, throughout the entire grounds. But it's also, the backdrop of it are these limestone cliffs in a national forest. So you're just walking around and you see these huge cliffs just all the time, and it's just, you just walk around looking up all the time, and you're just like, wow. I mean, that's just, I don't know. Meghan and I spent a week there. We only spent 2 nights there this time, but we spent a week there on our honeymoon, and it's just, you never stop just going, wow.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
We got back to Ao Nang. One of the things that we asked about when we were at Centara was, we were there last, it was a guy named Jack, and he wasn't at Centara anymore. One of the employees told us that he is now the owner of Bantan Mai, a Treehouse Cafe, outside of Ao Nang. So we had to go and try out the cafe and look for Jack. Unfortunately, he wasn't there that day, but this also, the scenery was awesome because, yeah, it's a Treehouse Cafe. I mean, you're walking around in the treetops and all these, elevated sidewalks and walkways, and just even the dining rooms are kind of elevated. They had a khao soi gai, which is a northern Thai dish that I really like, and I was looking forward to eating, and they had it there. So I was happier than a pig in mud eating khao soi gai in Thailand. Even though we weren't in northern Thailand, I was still excited about that.
Yeah, and then there was tons of options, places to take photos. I mean, there was tree houses and tables and waterfalls, and I don't even remember what else there was. There was just so much to take pictures of, so that was a cool place. Okay, the next one was the Mountain View restaurant. That was similar to the Treehouse Cafe, not far from the Airbnb, but this was the Mountain View. So they had great service. They were so nice. I mean, everyone was coming up to greet the kids, and they had great scenery also. This one had a little bit more. This one did have a little cave that we walked through, a little bit more to kind of walk around. So there were some cool things here too. Again, just a cool place, something we don't get to see in Texas.
Yeah, every table in that place had just an awesome view of something. Whether we ate like in the elevated part, and like it's kind of a treehouse area, and then there were others that were on the ground, and all of these big tables had views of either the mountain views or the small waterfall that they had there. But it was really cool. Good food, great service. Like, they greeted us at the van whenever we first got there.
Yeah, they were great. Next is the elephants. This was our favorite. I think this was my favorite, the elephant sanctuary. We loved the elephants 4 years ago in Thailand, so we brought the kids back. I mean, they're just amazing creatures. They're huge, they're still, they're quiet. So the kids, we were all able to feed the bananas. We did the mud bath. We took them down to the river. I like being in the river with them, just bathing them and being in the water. And then we stayed back. I had like a smaller group, did the medicine balls, and just got to be around the elephants. So Heidi was pretty scared. She didn't really touch the elephants, but she did touch them with the brush. And then Ryan warmed up towards the end. So that was just a really cool experience.
Another thing that we liked about the area that we stayed in is there were other night markets that were just within walking distance. And we took the opportunity whenever we could to go to these night markets. What's great about them, other than just the walking distance, there's just so much that you can get there, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. Like, we did one at one of the night markets. It was, 100 baht challenge, 200 baht challenge, and we were able to get, a drink, an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. For 200 baht, that's less than $5.50 or so. I limited myself. I had 200 baht, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to see if I can do it for less than 100. And I did. I did it for 95 baht. And, that's less than $3. But, you get stuff that's a lot cheaper than you would elsewhere. And like there was a pancake lady. It's a lot of the same vendors. So this pancake lady, we saw her at 2 or 3 different night markets. And it's just locals there. So we kind of stood out, being, Westerners, being foreigners. There weren't that many of us around. But nobody treated us any different or anything like that. Everybody's like very welcome and warm and accommodating. And
oh, they're so nice.
Oh yeah. So, but it's a lot of the same vendors. I liked getting the sugarcane juice, the drinks that they have there, the juices and whatnot. Other juices are really good. And yeah, so just having these night markets there and being able to go around and have your pick of different foods, whether it be curries or soups, or I got a chicken burger one time, just whatever, some fried tofu. It's just it's just a cool little experience. And if you get a chance, you got to do it.
Yeah. I think the next one was the sunsets, the beach, the monkey trail. We had gone out to Ao Nang Beach a couple times, and we'd watch on our phones when low tide was so that the kids could get in the water. We'd get there, play for a couple hours. Sometimes we'd take the monkey trail so we could see all the monkeys, and then try and stay there for sunset and grab food there. So it was just, the beach is beautiful. Everyone's so nice. The weather's great. Low tide, there's very little waves. Safe for the kids. If you can do the monkey trail, it's really fun. We don't feed the monkeys on the monkey trail, so they're pretty calm. They're only crazy when there's food involved. So that was really a good, we did that many times while we were there.
And then one of my favorite things that we did, because I love to cook, we did a cooking class, Cooking with Tao. And we actually signed up for this via Airbnb, because it's not just places to stay that you can book on Airbnb, but it's also experiences. So we did Cooking with Tao, and we got a grab over there, we got a ride, and it was just in Tao and John's garden at their house. She has a small outdoor kitchen, and we went and we walked to the market that was basically across the street from their house, and picked out the ingredients. Usually only do 2 dishes. She allowed us to do 3, which is pretty cool. And so we picked up most of the ingredients that we were going to need. She said she doesn't buy the chicken there, but she gets that at one of the supermarkets. But we bought the produce and the veggies and the curry and the prawns and everything that we were making the dishes with, and then went back to the house and cooked up these 3 dishes. And she's very patient and explains a lot about them and how she likes to cook them, because she learned from her mom. And so it was just, I don't know, it was just neat. I think that was my favorite experience, one of my favorites, because just because of the fact that I love to cook. And so learning how to cook a Thai dish from a Thai person was just kind of cool. And it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was way easier.
Yeah.
And we had been ordering these this food for several weeks with cooking classes towards the end. And then I was like, oh, this is what we're eating. Because there was a couple things that I didn't even know, these little bean ball vegetables.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know what they looked like, not covered in green curry. So it was cool to see what actually everything looked like before it was all mixed together.
Yeah, and then last but not least, just the food in Thailand is absolutely amazing. And just depending on where you go, if you're going to be in the touristy areas, you're going to pay tourist prices. But if you're in the local areas, you're not paying as much. And you can get food delivered for 3 people for less than $7. But yeah, just the food is great. There's a variety of it, but if you find something that you really like and you want to eat that a lot, you can.
And the Thai tea, that was one of my favorites. We get Thai tea wherever we can.
Oh yeah.
That was great. Yeah, the food was awesome.
So yeah, those are our highlights for Thailand and Ao Nang, Thailand. We're very glad, all of y'all are supporting our channel and going in, subscribing and liking. We love sharing our adventures with you, and we look forward to sharing even more. Until next time, we'll see you on the next video. Y'all take care.
Bye.
Bye.